We're here on April 30th at the Valley of Eden Bird Sanctuary, just south of Stockton, Illinois. It's our largest preserve in our 7 different preserves that we have throughout the county. And it's one of my favorite places, partly because it's so big, but because it's so varied in the habitat. We have about 10 miles of trails here to walk and enjoy beautiful grasslands, gorgeous oak savannas, even some wetland areas and some stream habitat down by Rush Creek. This attracts a lot of birds, and that's why we've named it Valley of Eden Bird Sanctuary, because it's been restored originally by Nancy Hamill Winter for bird habitat, and then she donated the property to us in 2016, and we've been managing it for bird diversity, bird species. We have about 130 species so far we've documented here, including some rare grassland species, birds like the bobolink, the Henslow sparrow, sedge wrens. These might not mean anything to you, but they're birds that are rare, and they're rare because their habitat, this type of grassland, undisturbed grassland habitat's been disappearing in Illinois for really since post-World War II.
The Valley of Eden is a very, very special place for grassland birds. And the reason they're called grassland birds is because that's where they know to nest. Sadly, these birds are in decline because they've run out of places to build their nests. The Henslow sparrows are the most endangered species out here, so the fact that this land hosts and successfully allows Henslow sparrows to breed is incredibly important to the survival of that species. Because of the bird surveys that we've done out here, we know they use this land quite readily. There's quite a few of them out here. And sadly, because Henslow sparrows, their population is so much under pressure, they're very dependent on restored grasslands such as this one. The bobolinks are a very charismatic species of bird that we have here. The amazing thing about bobolinks is their migration. They travel a very long way to get here to nest and raise their young. They spend the winter in southern South America, all the way down in southern Brazil and most of them down into Argentina. So when you come out here and you see them fly around and you hear them sing, remember that they came 6,000 miles and flew across the Gulf of Mexico to get here to this land that they use for their nesting. So the eastern meadowlarks are the most abundant grassland bird we have out here. They're very pretty. They'll perch up in a tree or a tall plant, and they're very conspicuous. They'll sing very loud. While they seem very abundant out here and throughout this area, as you drive down country roads, you will hear them sing from trees. Actually, sadly, their numbers currently are in a very steep decline overall, their overall population. And part of that problem for them is their ability to be able to find land that's undisturbed during their nesting season. One of the reasons that this area is so special, in addition to the actual structure that offers for these birds, is that it remains undisturbed. It's protected during their breeding season. And these birds, in order to successfully raise their young, need the space between late May and late July to remain completely undisturbed so they can successfully fledge. The other thing that makes this area so important for them is the size, the vastness of this grassland. These birds are looking for areas away from trees. They feel much safer in this kind of a habitat because trees can harbor predators, and so they're looking for very huge areas, very large areas in which to set up their breeding grounds. And that's what makes this place so special for them and why it received the Important Bird Area designation through Great Lakes Audubon.
My name is Barbara Bernard, and I'm a volunteer for the Joe Daviess Conservation Foundation. And we have a friends group for the Valley of Eden that is basically kind of oversees some of the conservation decisions. We have compiled a bird list, a master bird list for the property. We also have done some extensive research work out here, which has resulted in the property being designated as an important bird area with Audubon and BirdLife International, which is a huge designation.
The Friends of VOE volunteer group, part of what they do is help out with outreach and education.
We also are getting ready to place some benches, some bat houses, we've got some kestrel boxes that we're trying to get up. So we're doing some fun little projects like that. We basically meet and help decide projects or events that are happening out here. Last year we had a Saturday morning birding 101 class where we helped people that wanted to start to bird but didn't really have any idea how to go about it. We had a binocular demonstration, and then we talked a lot about how to identify birds, where to find birds, and then we walked around and helped people utilize those skills that we were trying to develop with them.
That looks like one of our sparrows. Trees like that are really good for meadowlarks.
So the oak savanna here is being restored in order to create more bird habitat. There's a lot of cavity nesting birds that are really dependent on these oak savanna habitats. Some of the common cavity nesting birds include red-headed woodpecker, eastern bluebirds, some kestrels, a lot of different owls.
We also have eastern meadowlarks, another declining bird, field sparrows, another declining bird, and we have had multiple viewings of things like northern harriers, which are a grassland predator bird, and also several sightings of short-eared owl, which is a really cool bird, really rare in this area, and also requires these really large expanses of grassland that are becoming so critically hard to find. If you come out and you want to see some of those cool birds, the best thing to do would be if you come straight out on the central grass trail and just go straight out, you're just bound to see most of those birds, if not all of those birds.
Whether you like birds or not doesn't really matter. This is a gorgeous place to come with your family, to come with a friend, to walk. We encourage you to come out, get out of the house with your family, and enjoy this beautiful preserve.